third topic that we have taken is primarily from polity. It is about fiscal federalism. Now, what is federalism? Federalism means the relationship between the central government and the state governments. ठीक है? Why we are studying here? Finance Ministry releases 9,871 crore as revenue deficit grants to 17 states. It was reported on May 6, 2021. 2021 last year. ठीक है? Now, again, this news 6 July 2022. This is taken from PIB. Revenue deficit grant of 7,183.42 crore released to 14 states. यहाँ पे 17 states, यहाँ पे 14 states. That means, now what is revenue deficit grant? That we'll be looking into. ठीक है? It is a grant और लोन में एक फर्क है. ठीक है? Loan is to be paid back. Grant is not to be paid back. Grant is like a scholarship. ठीक है? Now we all know that. ठीक है? Now we all know that there are certain taxation powers to state government. There are certain taxation powers to central government, and we understand that the taxation power of central government are higher than the taxation powers of state government. ठीक है? Moreover, the power to raise revenue of the states is very limited. ठीक है? It was further limited by the introduction of 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendments Acts 1991. That means the Panchayati Raj and municipalities. Many taxing powers were given to these third tier bodies. Hence, the states depend largely on central government. ठीक है? States depend largely on central government for its tax and non-tax revenues. ठीक है? तो as I said कि states का टैक्स रेजिंग पावर बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है, टैक्स का डोमेन बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है एज कंपेयर टू द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. बट सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के पास एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल लायबिलिटी है कि इट हैज़ टू शेयर द नेट प्रोसीड्स ऑफ टैक्स रेवेन्यू. टैक्स, ठीक है, रेवेन्यू. वॉट एवर टैक्स रेवेन्यू सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट रिसीव्स, it has to share it with states. ठीक है? And what are the principles on which this sharing will be decided? That is decided by Finance Commission. That is decided by Finance Commission established under Article 280. Article 280 mandates that there shall be a Finance Commission which shall decide on the the principles to be followed for horizontal and vertical devolution of tax proceeds. Now, what is horizontal and vertical devolution? Now, what is horizontal and vertical devolution? Vertical, this is called devolution of tax proceeds. ठीक है? Tax proceeds. ठीक है? Devolution of tax proceeds. There are two kind of devolution. Devolution means sharing. ठीक है? Sharing of tax proceeds. Now vertical sharing में क्या है कि how much of the tax revenue the central government has connected will be shared by central government and all the state governments put together. All state governments put together. ठीक है? So that will be vertical tax devolution. Now what is horizontal tax devolution? It is like how much of tax, how much of ये इसका जो share है, how will it be divided into by all the states? ठीक है? How will this proceed that the all states have been allotted will be divided amongst the states? This is called horizontal devolution. The principle which will be used to share these tax between the states and between the central and state is decided by Finance Commission, that is established by President of India, ठीक है, and it has under Article 280, ठीक है. दो important, बहुत important bodies हैं फेडरेशन के regarding. The first one is Finance Commission, the second one is Interstate Council, Article 263, that is very important. Okay. Right. So I hope you understood this, कि what is tax devolution. Again, even after the devolution of tax proceeds, that the thing that we talked about, horizontal and vertical devolution, it is about the devolution of tax proceeds. लेकिन हो सकता है कि tax proceeds के devolution के बाद भी states are not properly able to like come up with their own revenues, ठीक है, because state governments are heavily dependent upon the central government, ठीक है. Now, Article 275 says that grants from the union to certain states. Grant from the union to certain states. Now, the tax proceeds are not grants, ठीक है, they are the right of the states. States have a right on the tax proceeds, ठीक है, they have a right on the tax proceeds as per the Constitution of India. But Constitution under Article 275 also allows for the certain kind of revenue grants to be given to states, ठीक है. It can be said that there are certain states which are not properly functioning, उनका financial condition बहुत अच्छा नहीं है, so in that case they can be given revenue grants, ठीक है. And Constitution reads that such sums as Parliament may by law decide. That means so much amount of money as the Parliament decides shall be charged upon Consolidated Fund of India, shall be charged upon. Now there are two important things, charged and made from, ठीक है. The expenditures that are charged upon Consolidated Fund of India are not subject to the vote of the Parliament, ठीक है. They can be discussed but they cannot be voted, ठीक है. They are charged on the Consolidated Fund of India. On the other hand, the expenses that are made from the Consolidated Fund of India, they can be voted upon, they can be discussed by the Parliament when the budget is being presented basically, ठीक है. That means in each year as grant in aid of revenue of such states as the Parliament may determine to be in need of assistance, ठीक है. If the Parliament thinks that there are certain states that need financial assistance, so the Parliament can by law grant some kind of financial assistance to these states ठीक है, apart from the tax devolution, that is done by Finance Commission. That is why it is called post devolution revenue deficit grant, ठीक है. ओके, मतलब अगर टैक्स का डिवोल्यूशन जब हो गया सारे स्टेट्स के बीच में, फिर अगर सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को लगता है या पार्लियामेंट को लगता है कि देयर आर सम स्टेट्स जिनकी फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन अच्छी नहीं है, दे नीड टू बी पेड मोर, तो इट कैन आफ्टर द डिवोल्यूशन हैज टेकन प्लेस अपने पैसे में से, कंसोलिडेटेड फंड ऑफ इंडिया में से वो कुछ पैसे दे सकता है सर्टेन स्टेट्स को. ओके, तो इन द बजट ऑफ 2021 Honorable Finance Minister Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman said that due to COVID and all these things, the states were not able to raise revenue for themselves, and that is why we will be giving revenue deficit grants to certain states. So first phase में there were 17 states and उसके बाद there were 14 states. ठीक है? Okay. Until provision is made by the Parliament under Clause 1, until and unless a law is made, such amount that should be given to states shall also be decided by the Finance Commission. Understood? मतलब पहले तो आर्टिकल ये कहता है कि Parliament may by law decide कि how much grant is to be given to certain states which are in need of assistance, and that grant will be charged upon the Consolidated Fund of India. But it also says that unless and until the Parliament has made any such law, the President can make such grant in aid to certain states based on the recommendation of the Finance Commission. ठीक है, तो पार्लियामेंट ने अभी तक कोई लॉ नहीं बनाया ऐसा, बट फाइनेंस कमीशन को प्रेसिडेंट ने टर्म्स ऑफ रेफरेंसेस मींस कि व्हाट आर द टर्म्स एज टू व्हाट फाइनेंस कमीशन इज टू लुक इनटू, ठीक है। तो टर्म्स ऑफ रेफरेंसेस में व्हाट आर द टर्म्स दैट प्रेसिडेंट हैज रिकमेंडेड सॉरी what are the terms that president has recommended to the finance commission to look into, and the finance commission will accordingly express its desire कि इन states को इतना grant दे दो. Now we are talking about the revenue grant. What is revenue budget and capital budget is like it's a specific detour from our original tour, ठीक है, because I wanted to tell this important thing कि budget के कितने parts होते हैं, like BOP के capital account और current account. Similarly, revenue budget and capital budget. What is important is revenue receipts में, revenue budget में revenue expenditure और receipts, expenditure और receipt. तो receipt में plan expenditure और expenditure plan and non-plan expenditure, और revenue में tax and non-tax revenue. Non-tax revenue क्या होता है? ऐसा revenue जो license fees से रेज किया जाए फॉर एग्जांपल, या फाइन्स से रेज किया जाए, तो वो हो गया नॉन टैक्स रेवेन्यू, ठीक है। ऑन द अदर हैंड कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर इज प्लान एंड नॉन प्लान कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर. तो दिस इज नॉट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बट आई वांटेड टू गिव अ डिटूर. तो रेवेन्यू रिसीट्स में क्या होगा? टैक्स रेवेन्यू, कॉर्पोरेशन, ऑल द टैक्सेस, ठीक है, आर टर्म्ड एज रेवेन्यू, टैक्स रेवेन्यू. नॉन टैक्स रेवेन्यू में any kind of income that is generated apart from the taxing power, ठीक है, like interest receipts. If the government has extended some loan to someone, so it can ask that the interest that the government is getting on that loan, that will be considered non-tax revenue, ठीक है. Revenue means income, expenditure means revenue means income, और capital budget means तो कि मतलब ऐसा बजट का वो हिस्सा जो कैपिटल क्रिएशन और कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर से डील करता है, ठीक है. रेवेन्यू मींस ऐसा बजट का वो हिस्सा दैट डील्स विद द इनकम ऑफ द स्टेट, ठीक है. नॉन टैक्स रेवेन्यू में इंटरेस्ट रिसीट्स, डिविडेंड्स, प्रॉफिट्स, एक्सटर्नल ग्रांट्स, अदर नॉन टैक्स रेवेन्यू, रिसीट ऑफ द यूनियन टेरिटरीज, ठीक है. कैपिटल रिसीट्स, नाउ इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दिस पॉइंट वाज अ क्वेश्चन इन यूपीएससी वंस, 1 year this was a question in UPSC, ठीक है. Now capital receipts are receipts that create liabilities or reduce financial assets, ठीक है. तो capital receipts में अगर हम देखें, non debt receipts, recoveries of loans and advances and disinvestment receipts. तो revenue receipt में क्या होगा कि if a PSU for example, if a PSU, ठीक है, is making some revenue, ठीक है, and it is paying some dividend to government, so that will be called non-tax revenue. It will be considered in dividends and profits, ठीक है, understood. But if government sells this PSU and makes rupees 5,000 crore, तो what happened? Government का capital जो था, एक PSU थी, that has lost, that has actually been converted into money. तो what happened is, यहां पे रिसीट तो हुआ, 5,000 crore रुपीस का रिसीट तो आया, राइट, बट दैट हैज रिड्यूस्ड फाइनेंशियल एसेट्स. PSU हैज रिड्यूस्ड. अब गवर्नमेंट के पास 20 PSUs की बजाय 19 PSUs है, राइट. तो दैट इज द एग्जांपल दैट रिड्यूस फाइनेंशियल एसेट्स और दैट क्रिएट लायबिलिटीज. Liabilities means debt receipts. If I'm taking a loan, so that loan will be called capital receipt, ठीक है. But my liability to pay that loan has increased, right? Earlier I was not having any liability to pay a loan of 5,000 crore rupees. If I raise a loan of 5,000 crore rupees, so that 5,000 crore will be accounted in my debt receipts, ठीक है. But that 5,000 crore का मेरे पास आज पैसा तो हो गया, तो मैं उसको कैपिटल रिसीट्स में डाल दूंगा. कैपिटल रिसीट्स में किस में? डेट रिसीट्स में. बट नाउ आई हैव ऑल्सो क्रिएटेड अ लायबिलिटी फॉर माई सेल्फ टू पे दैट लोन बैक. दैट इज वाई कैपिटल रिसीट्स आर दोज रिसीट्स which either create a liability or lead to the destruction of a financial asset, ठीक है. So this is the important term that I wanted to bring into. Okay. Okay. I have already told what a finance commission is. So now we are talking about the post-devolution revenue deficit grant that the union government is going to give to the state government. And as I said, in the clause 2 of Article 275, it reads that unless and until Parliament has made any law to make grants to the state, such a grant will be provided in accordance with the Finance Commission's recommendation. Now, 15th Finance Commission, which was headed by N.K. Singh, has made a made the following important recommendations: that vertical devolution at 41%, मतलब states will be given 41% of the total revenue, ठीक है, and 59% will be owned by the central government. 1% adjustment has been made for the state of Jammu and Kashmir, ठीक है. For horizontal devolution, now 41% of the total revenue will be given to states. लेकिन अब ये सारे states में कैसे divide होगा 41%? उसका devolution का formula बनाया है. उसमें 12.5% weightage given to demographic performance, 45% to income of that state, 15% to each population, and 10% to forest and ecology, and 2.5% to tax and fiscal efforts. तो ये आपको याद रखना है. This is very important point. This is most important point. ठीक है. It has also recommended, now this is the last point that we are going to deal with, that is post-devolution deficit grants. Post-devolution deficit grants of rupees 3 trillion over a period of financial year 21 to 26 तक में, the Finance Commission has said that the central government should give, इतना पैसा तो दें ही, 41% of the जो states का share बनता है वो तो दो, उसके बाद 3 trillion rupees कुछ states को दो. First phase में 17 states थे, now there are 14 states. So I hope you understood कि what is post-devolution revenue deficit grant, what is revenue deficit, and where does this revenue deficit grant come from. It is coming from Article 275. It is granted to the states on the recommendation of 15th Finance Commission. Okay. This is the formula. This is the comparison of 14th Finance Commission and 15th Finance Commission. Demographic performance and tax effort. These two things were added to the original parameters that were made for assessment of how much money should how much state get. Okay? So that was all about post revenue deficit grants. If you have any problems in that, kindly consult me in the comment section.